Today's social media segment is brought to you by South Louisiana Bank. It's better when we bank together. Waits and Downer, attorneys at law. Terrebonne Ford, built Ford tough. All right, we're back. It's Deuce Luke's last show in studio for quite some time because he will be on Zoom coming to us from ULL in the city of Lafayette as Deuce goes to college. This is our show to teach you about autism and to help you get over the hurdles and roadblocks of autism. And Deuce has been on our program. This will be number 46 today. He's done a great job. I want to thank his mom, Kathy, and his dad, Jay, and everybody who has helped out. His mentor, Sherry, a lot of people that have helped Deuce out. You know who you are. And of course, Rouse's. He works at Rouse's. He works here at HTV. He does a great job at both places. So we're going to be right back, and we're going to close out the studio session with Deuce. And then after that, he's off to college. We'll be right back. All right, we're back. Deuce Luke is in the house. There he is right here. The one, the only, the man, the myth.
The legend.
The legend.
Deuce Luke.
All right, he's ready to go. All right, we're talking about Disney Plus today. What are we talking about?
All right. Well, good news is I have officially acquired Disney Plus on my own.
Really?
Oh, yes.
Tell me about that.
So, whenever I got Max, and after a while I've had a Max, I felt kind of homesick from having no Disney Plus. You know how it is whenever you feel homesick from your original childhood and you want to get back into it.
Right, yeah.
That's sort of like what I had. So
Okay.
my mom and dad is not going to be here whenever I go to college. So I got it on my own.
Oh, that's cool. So what do you watch on Disney Plus?
Oh, I watch a few things like Spider-Man, Night at the Museum, Marvel stuff, and Star Wars, a whole bunch of other stuff too.
So you just got it going on, huh?
Yep.
Yeah, well, you're feeling your independence, huh?
Yes, I am.
I could sense that. All right. So did you see gear for Luffy in One Piece?
Here for Luffy.
Did I say that wrong?
Yes, you did.
Yeah, I'm learning these names, you know. These names are like Greek to me. Yeah, when I see them, I go, how do you pronounce that? But I know you will correct me when I say them wrong.
And it's called Luffy.
Luffy, Luffy is
Yep.
Luffy.
And yes, and believe me, it was it was great. It was honestly great. Like, it was exciting for me because I had never seen gear for Luffy for watching One Piece. But now since I saw it, it was phenomenal.
You know why I thought it was Luffy?
Yeah, because it's like a
How do you spell fluffy?
Fluffy.
So it would seem to me it would be Luffy, but they have a play on words, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, Luffy. All right, so I'm gonna think of Lucy when I see Luffy.
No, don't think.
No,
of
I'm
Lucy.
gonna think of Lucy, and that way I got the vowel right, correct?
Well, yeah, because Lucy was actually a alias that Luffy used to get into the Coliseum.
Oh wow, I didn't know that. You see, I'm on to something now.
Yeah, you were kind of on something.
Here we go. All right, so what episode of One Piece are you on?
Oh, that's well, that's a good question because I would say I'm on episode 730, probably 3 or 5.
What?
Yep.
That's a lot.
And I have a 400 to go.
And I watched how many episodes of Suits, and I don't think I watched that many episodes. That's a lot of episodes.
One Piece cannot compare to Suits.
Yeah, but how long did it take you to watch that?
3 months. Well, not 3 months. 3 years.
3 years,
Not
yeah.
including free time for my mom and dad and store hours and all that stuff, you know.
All right, so let me ask you, we got to go back to Five Nights at Freddy's. Are you going to play Five Nights at Freddy's?
I wouldn't say so
Are
because
you over that?
No, I'm not over it.
Okay.
I'm into the whole lore and the story,
Right.
but I'm not into the game because I'm a scaredy cat.
Well, that's true. You told me that several times. So you don't like scary stuff, don't you?
Not really, but however, movies I can handle.
What scares you the most?
Heights are my biggest fear.
Really?
Yes.
So you're not getting on a ladder?
No, I'm not even getting on a step stool. Like, if you put me on a step stool, I'll be wobbling. Even at the water park last week, I couldn't even let alone climb up the water park.
Really?
And I even got stuck on the water on one of the water slides there with my friend, and we were stuck on there for about a minute or so. I was freaking out.
Ah. So we know. So what else scares you? Ghosts?
Nope.
You okay?
Scarecrows.
Scarecrow?
Yep. Scarecrows.
So you didn't watch The Wizard of Oz, right?
That scarecrow the scarecrow now it's friendly,
Yeah.
but there are some other scarecrows like in the I don't know what to advertise this one because it might provoke some curious watchers. So I'm not gonna recommend, I'm not gonna tell it unless you are responsible enough.
Yeah. So if your daddy or mom ever gave you a job to paint the wall, you were only going to paint 4 feet down so you wouldn't have to get on a step ladder, right?
Yeah.
All right. That's cool.
Around my height at least.
Well, we're learning things. Now, what kind of stories do you think you'll make on YouTube, let's say?
Okay. Well, I'm basically gonna be a gamer expert. So maybe some tutorials for things, maybe some stories for another. Also, I can possibly do like reviews for movies.
Yeah.
And who knows? Whatever comes at me, I'll try to do something.
Now, let me ask you this. We got about a minute left. In the autistic world, do you interpret movies the same way like I would if I watched them, or is it because you have autism? Do you interpret it differently?
I would interpret it differently because, well, I would like to overthink it. Like I'm analyzing the movie, like I'm analyzing the plot line, the characters, all of it.
Okay. And it can range differently with people with autism depending on, I guess, what level of the spectrum they are. So it could all fluctuate, right?
Yeah. If you're rather creative, you want to get into the creative side of things, or if you want to be focused on characters, you can try to focus on that.
All right.
Simple like that.
Cool deal. Let's do this. Take a break. We're going to be right back with Deuce Luke. Don't forget, in weeks to come, he's going to be on Zoom from Lafayette, Louisiana. We'll be right back. Today's social media segment is brought to you by Alford and Associates for all of your insurance needs. CIS, Cardiovascular Institute of the South, the highest quality cardiovascular care available. Barker Honda, the Barker family tradition of quality. All right, we're back. I can't wait to come on and say, live from Lafayette, Louisiana, Deuce Luke joining us on the campus of ULL. Deuce, are you ready for that?
Yes, I am.
All right.
You just call me in the good thought.
Yeah, what's that?
I'm just joking with you. I was doing that for the dramatics.
All right, do it again. Let's do acting 101. You got that down, Deuce.
What can I say?
You got that down. You're going to be on the big screen one day, right?
That's my dream actually, but not the big screen as you think.
You want to write, right?
Not take it right. I want to make a show. Instead of taking me books, I want to make an animated show, and then I'll make the characters, and then I'll voice some of the characters and hire the voice actors, and then I'll make the best show ever.
Now, if you win the lottery and you win like $1 billion, what's the first thing you're going to do?
Save it.
But you're going to build a studio so you could do all your animations,
Yeah, for sure.
and you're going to hire people out, and you're going to have fun, aren't you?
Yep, I am.
You're going to be rocking and rolling.
You can believe it.
And who's going to handle the legal?
Possibly my dad.
Yeah, but say possibly, yeah. Well, he could put you in the right spot. You know, a lot of attorneys specialize in different
Yep.
things. So he may say, knowing your dad, he'll probably say, no, I'd just rather be your dad. Let's get another attorney to come
Yeah,
in.
and besides, I lived in the Horns at the attorney's office for a long time.
There you
I
go.
possibly grew up there.
Yeah, well, I understand. Hey, let's talk about Dungeons and Dragons, the homebrew game based on your stories. What is that? Tell me about it.
All right, so me and my friends, Eli and Cole, we are trying to do a homebrew story based on my characters and stories. And we're trying to develop it into a Dungeons and Dragons game.
All right. So we've been talking about you getting into college, but you got to have a long-term plan. Not that you need to rush it now, but I know you've probably been thinking about it because I know you well enough now. What do you want to do when you get out of college?
Well, whenever I get out of college, I'll open up a business for my own studio. I'll be independent, and sooner or later I'll become, I'm hoping to be the best studio ever. And I'll make the good animation films and movies and all that stuff, even TV series,
Okay, now part of that is,
my stories.
yeah, you got to make music too.
And as I mentioned, I'll make the music as well.
All right, so you want to get into a little music too?
Yep, music.
All right, yeah. Because I'm going to tell you a little story. When I was in the first grade, I took guitar lessons.
Really?
Yeah. At St. Francis, Sister Mary Ann taught me basic guitar.
No.
And I would go to the masses at church and I would play some religious songs. And we did all that when we were young. First through fourth grade, we were learning. But after that, I wanted to play every sport they had. Put the guitar in the closet. It was my mom's guitar. And I never touched it again till many, many years later. Biggest regret I've ever had.
Yeah.
Although sports was great in my life and I thought I did well in sport, the biggest regret was I had all that time I could have been doing
Right.
something I loved that I picked up later again.
Really practice.
So if you love something, stay with it.
I agree. And why do you think I'm sticking with my creativity?
There you go. And you gotta go with it. Now, is there a voice acting class at ULL? And if there's not, are you going to petition one?
They never said, and they never did mention any voice acting classes, nor is there any at this point. But I will maybe petition something for it.
Right. Okay.
For
Well,
any voice actors out there, for you guys, I'm basically petitioning a voice acting class for you.
what's your latest voice?
I just didn't have one.
Well, give the crowd one of your old ones. What's some of your old ones you used to do?
Oh, you'll like this one.
Yeah.
Be careful with that merchandise, boys. You'll break your bike, piece.
Ah,
Hey, watch what you're saying to the boss. I'll make sure you respect him good.
got a little mafia in that, right?
A smooth mafia.
Ah, smooth mafia. So you work for the mafia boss?
No. That's my voice.
No, your voice, I mean, but the character.
Oh yeah, the character.
Character works for the mafia
character.
boss, and he's warning somebody that they might have to go see the big guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you got to put that little, do it one more time for me. Let's see.
All right. Move this merchandise out of here before I call the big shot.
All right. You've been practicing?
I practiced. I tried to at least.
All right, so let me ask you about Avatar. You watching Avatar?
Which one you talking about?
I don't know. I've only watched the first one.
Oh.
Which one have you watched? How many?
All right. Well, it's not technically the movies that.
How about The Last Airbender?
There you go. You see, there's a difference.
Okay.
There's Avatar where the blue people are, and then there's Avatar: The Last Airbender, the animated show where you get the character Aang and his friends Katara and Sokka.
Okay.
And Aang is trying to be is basically the last Airbender. He's trying to be the Avatar, trying to stop a war.
I can tell by your answer that you've been watching Avatar.
Oh yes, I have.
Yeah, because you jumped on the airbender. All right, how did you get into Transformers?
Oh, that's a good story for you, baby. Well, I was watching my daily dose of Dish network. Remember the Dish?
Mm-hmm.
And then I found a recording called Transformers Prime. And then all of a sudden, I was into Transformers. I kept watching it over and over. And that's how I got into it. Not into the movies or anything like that, but into the series of Transformers Prime. And you know where it came from?
Where?
The Hub Network.
Okay.
You never heard of it, huh?
Nope. How about video games?
And it's also a good story. I was with my dad one day at Best Buy and didn't think much of it until I went down the Skylander aisle. And there was a Skylander aisle, by the way. I went down there, pressed a few buttons, and sooner or later I was transported to a new world, which was Skylanders.
That was history after that, right?
That was history, yeah.
You were going through it at that point. All right, let's take a break. We're going to come back. We have one more segment with Deuce Luke before he wanders off to ULL. And then we'll get him by Zoom back here in the studio at HTV for upcoming shows. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. Today's social media segment is brought to you by Terrebonne General Health System. Your health is our legacy. Rouse's, you're either local or you're not. Buick, the craft of modern luxury. St. Martin and Bork, know your rights. All right, we're here, last segment with Deuce Luke here at HTV for a long time because he's going to ULL. We'll have him by Zoom, and that will be coming up when he gets to college for sure. All right, Deuce, so when did you get into D&D?
Well, that's also a good show. Well, I got into D&D whenever I started learning about Stranger Things.
Yeah.
And then I found a D&D group that was in town for a Comic-Con, and then the rest is history. Well,
So what does D&D stand for?
Dungeons and Dragons.
Is that I know that I saw that, but I've always saw it spelled out, but y'all call it D&D most of the time when you're playing it?
It's like our acronym.
Yeah. The abbreviated word, because
Yep.
it's too hard to always say Dungeons and Dragons, right?
Just like it's also too hard to say Five Nights at Freddy's.
Okay, so what do you say?
FNAF.
Really?
So here's how it's spelled. FNAD, Five Nights at Freddy's.
Ah, I'm learning something new today. All right, so the weekend that just came up, what'd you do?
Well, I went over to see my friend before I went to school. Not just any friend, my two best friends in the world,
All right.
along with their friends, Trey and Michael.
How'd that work out?
Oh, it went great. It went great, except I kind of failed on some rides. Like I got stuck on one, not just once, but twice. And then I basically went backwards, sliding down, went to slide by myself. So whenever I went up the slide,
Yeah?
it was a water park, by the way.
Okay.
So we were going on the water park, and
Where's the water park?
it's in Baton Rouge.
Yeah, that's the one you pass by all the time. We see the water park.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's not up to code.
What is it, Blue Bayou or something? What they call it?
It's Blue Bayou.
All
I
right,
think
okay,
it is.
all right.
But unfortunately, for my standards, it is not up to code.
Okay, we got to be careful. I would say that, you know,
right.
if we own Blue Bayou,
Right?
I'm sure they might not be up to your code, but they're probably up to code.
Yeah.
You know, we'll check it out. All right, so let me ask you this: how did you get into Pokemon? I used to see people pass my office window, and they wasn't even watching where they were going to cross the street. They were looking at their phone.
That's not actually the Pokemon we grew up with.
Okay.
in my all right, so what I grew up with, I was on 3DS, and I played Pokemon X, and then that's how I got into Pokemon. I also watched a few shows of Pokemon too.
Hmm.
Pokemon was not just a game; it was a show. First off,
Okay. Well, I missed a lot of games. Of course, we didn't have much when we were kids. We had Scooby Doo and other things like that. Gilligan's Isle.
oh, you know how I got into Scooby Doo?
Y'all had so much to pick from.
Oh, and do you know how I got into Scooby Doo?
How?
I got into Scooby Doo while watching What's New Scooby Doo, and I fell in love with the sense, and I basically became a little detective.
Yeah, Shaggy.
Yeah. No, I will probably the Fred plus Velma in this scenario.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I'm also smart, and I like to capture the bad guy.
Ah, there you go. You got it. All right. So, how you say this one? I wrote Ninjago.
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 Oh, Ninjago.
So, like, now see that makes sense because Jago is like Dragos. Drago. Dragos is a place to eat. Jago, the pronunciation. Growing up a journalism student, I would say Jago, but that's not always the case. There's exceptions. So Jago would be
it's
right.
actually different because Ninjago is actually both a city and a series.
Is it?
Because
Okay.
in the show, the series is based on ninjas
Okay.
and how good they could be if they're not an enemy.
I see that. It's have ninja in it. Okay. Cool. You teaching me. You ought to be hosting the show today and making me learn, right? All right.
Yeah.
So, and how did this guide your life?
Well, it guided my life through a whole bunch of lessons that they taught in the show, like you should never put off what can be done today, and iron sharpens iron, student sharpens student. Those lessons guide me through life.
Okay.
They are not only action-packed and funny, they also have life lessons that have snippets of.
Life lessons. We talked about that quite a bit, huh? Life lessons. All right. So, did you get your mom into Ghostbusters?
No, she got me to go.
She got you into it?
Yeah.
Explain that to me.
All right. So how it worked is that, so whenever I was growing up, I didn't know what Ghostbusters was, let alone what it could be. I was a teenager in high school, and I wanted to explore some stuff. So mom got me into Ghostbusters, and I watched it a bit. Unfortunately, my first time around, I was scared because of the demon dogs.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the one that possessed.
Yeah. I like Ghostbusters. I watch it.
I do. And when I kept watching it, I got more accustomed. And I actually loved so much, I even bought some DVDs.
You know who sang the Ghostbusters song?
Ray Parker?
Ray Parker Jr.
Ray Parker Jr., yes.
There's something here
In the
in the
neighborhood. Who you gonna call? Ghostbusters!
You got it. You got it down.
I know the song by heart.
Do you?
Yeah.
All right, go for it.
It's just something weird, and it don't look good. Who you gonna call?
Ghostbusters.
Yeah!
Bum, 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 bum. Who sang? There was another song in Ghostbusters. Didn't Huey Lewis sing one? I can't remember. But I know Ray Parker did the Ghostbusters song. That was pretty good.
I'm not sure who sang the second version, but if it's Huey Lewis, I'll go with
I
it.
don't know. I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to look that up.
Yeah.
But anyway, so all right, we're gonna get your computer up to speed. You're gonna be coming to us from Lafayette, Louisiana, and so you've had 46 shows in the studio. You learned a lot, haven't you?
I have, and I want to say thank you, Mr. Martin. It's been an honor serving with you and the other guys here. I want to say thank you to you guys, and I also want to say thank you for everyone who supported me through my journey.
All right, you've had a good journey, and I remember when I was seeing this little kid at the Vanderbilt games, and Jay Luke was coming up to me and said, "Deuce wants to tell you hello, Mr. Martin," and there was Deuce, about 1.5 feet tall. Now you're a little taller now. How tall are you now?
I believe I'm 6'2", 6'3" now.
Yeah, you grow. You've grown quite a bit. All right, so we will see you from Lafayette, Louisiana, right?
Yep.
Take us out the studio right now, dude.
All right, it's been a pleasure seeing you guys. I hope you have a good day, and I'll see you in Lafayette.
In a world of silence, there's a different kind of language, autism, a unique puzzle that brings its own beautiful picture. Where others see a blank canvas, they see boundless creativity. Each day, they awaken with purpose and determination. Their minds are a vast universe, exploring countless subjects with passion. Deuce Luke said it best when he said,
Autism is not a disability, it's a different ability.
just like a seed becomes a magnificent tree, they too blossom into something extraordinary. Embrace the beauty of their world. Learn more about autism. Visit Understand Autism for more information. That's www.understandautism.org. You can also find help by calling 800-3-AUTISM. That's 1-800-328-8476. Thank you for watching The Deuce is Loose here on HTV10.
Today's social media segment is brought to you by South Louisiana Bank. It's better when we bank together. Waits and Downer, attorneys at law. Terrebonne Ford, built Ford tough.